Imagine being humiliated on one of the biggest nights of your teenage life by your own sister. Now imagine holding on to that pain for nearly a decade, just waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. That moment? Her wedding day. If you've ever wished karma had better timing, you're going to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready for one of the coldest, most satisfying revenge moments ever told on this channel. Let me take you back to a small town, quaint, quiet, where everyone knows everyone else. That's where I spent part of my early life, and where I met one of the most wholesome families I've ever known. A kind-hearted dad, a loving mom, and two kids, a boy and a girl, just a couple of years younger than me. Let's call them Eric and Jessica. Eric and Jessica were like most siblings, always at each other's throats, but in that playful prank war kind of way. You know how it is, itching powder in the laundry, ketchup packets under the toilet seat, stuff that makes you laugh more than it hurts. But as they got older, especially when they both hit high school, Jessica's pranks started crossing the line. I remember Eric as this shy, lanky kid with a heart of gold. He'd do odd jobs for me, mowing lawns, walking dogs, anything to make a little cash. I really got to know him well over those years. He was the kind of guy who never had a bad word to say about anyone. But Jessica, she had a streak in her. Smart, popular, and honestly, kind of cruel when she wanted to be. And on one night that should have been unforgettable for the right reasons, she absolutely broke him. It was prom night. Eric had been over the moon. His crush of 2 years finally said yes. He'd saved up for weeks to rent the perfect tux. Even got a fresh haircut and styled it just right. He was nervous, excited, glowing. And Jessica? Well, she decided it was the perfect night to get him back for some prank he pulled 6 months earlier. I don't even remember what it was, probably something harmless. But what she did, not harmless, not funny. She snuck into the bathroom hours before he got ready and replaced his shampoo with hair removal cream. He didn't notice it at first, but when he stepped out of the shower and started toweling off his head, the horror began. Chunks of hair, falling, sliding, clumping in his hands. He thought he was sick. He thought something was wrong with him. By the time his mom ran in, he was nearly bald. I'll never forget seeing him the next morning when he came by my place, completely shaved, eyes red from crying, wearing that rented tux like it was a costume he didn't belong in. She thought it'd be funny, he told me quietly. She said it was a joke. He didn't laugh. None of us did. And as he walked away that day, something changed in him. You could see it. That spark of innocence, gone. I'd moved away from that town not long after the prom incident. Life went on, as it does, jobs, marriage, kids. Eric and I kept in touch through text now and then, birthdays, holidays, the occasional check-in. I knew he finished college and landed a good job near home. I never asked about Jessica. Then, out of the blue, my wife and I received an elegant wedding invitation. The bride? Jessica. My first instinct? Honestly, surprise. I hadn't heard her name in years. But my second thought? Maybe it was a chance to go back home, reconnect with old friends, visit family, and enjoy a night out without the kids. My brother even offered to take the kids to our family lake cabin for the weekend. Everything was falling into place. The venue was extravagant. High ceilings, crystal chandeliers, a band tuning up in the background. It was the kind of wedding that screamed money. Turns out it was being paid for by both sets of parents and the groom himself. Big, lavish, perfect. Until the morning of the wedding. I was just sipping coffee in our hotel room when my phone buzzed. A message from Jessica's dad. Wedding's off, reception still on, come party anyway. Oded. What? Wait, what? Reception still on? We were confused. My wife was convinced it was cold feet or maybe a family emergency, but we decided to go anyway. We'd already dressed up, we were already there, and frankly, we were curious. When we walked in, the mood was strange. People were dressed for celebration, but there was this undercurrent of buzzing whispers. The kind of gossip that spreads fast, but no one wants to say out loud. That's when I saw Eric, leaning casually by the bar, smiling. He looked different, confident, collected, calm. And that's when he told me what happened. Sighed that he's indebted. The night before the wedding, Jessica had her final hair appointment. Everything styled, sprayed, perfected for the big day. Then back at her parents' house, she took a shower. Normal routine, or so she thought. Except this time, her shampoo had been swapped. With hair removal cream. Again. Eric's voice was almost emotionless when he said it. No gloating, no laughter. I waited 9 years for this, he said. 9 years to get her back the same way she got me. Same prank, same cruelty, same humiliation. Jessica apparently screamed bloody murder when she saw herself in the mirror. Most of her beautiful, salon-perfect hair, gone, melted off in her hands. She had a full breakdown, locked herself in the bathroom, refused to come out, refused to go through with the wedding. The groom, devastated. The parents, furious. But Eric, he just smiled and said, now we're even. The wedding was called off, but the venue, the food, the band already paid for. So they went ahead with the reception, a party minus the bride. Eric was there, his parents were there, everyone but Jessica. Even the dad, who should have been livid, just shook his head and said to me, what she did to him back then, it was cruel. We told her it was wrong. She never apologized, and now, well,